Hi guys, welcome to my videos. So guys, today in this video I'm gonna share some information about real estate in Ontario, Canada. So before I proceed further, I would like to clarify I'm not a realtor, and also I'm not involved with Real Estate Board of Ontario or Canada in any way. So whatever I am telling you in this video is based on my knowledge and research. Alright guys, so first of all I would like to tell you something. Like if you are doing your research, because of course homework is required before you enter in the real estate market, especially in probably the hottest market in the world, in Canada. I mean, the prices are like skyrocketing, and it has been multiplied multiple times in last few years. Anyway, so the very first thing when you do research is like, do not base your research just on the listing price. What you need to do is like, of course you can see listing price, but also see the sold price, the actual price. Because what is happening, like for any house there are so many bids, so many offers are being presented, that of course like it's kind of a bidding war. So whoever bids most gets it. So if something is listed at 350, doesn't mean if you list it, if you offer 350, 360, 70, you are gonna get. I am seeing people are getting like 200,000, 300,000 above the listing price. So a property that is listed at 350 can be sold out at 550, and even in 600, even more than that. There is no limitation, right? So that is really important, that you do your research based on the selling price, not just based on the listing price. Because sometimes some homeowners or realtors, whatever you want to say, or they're like, I'm not sure about it, but I have seen like probably they knowingly put the listing price low, so that may trigger a bidding war, and that's gonna benefit the seller. Okay, so this is the first point I'm telling you. Second point I'm gonna tell you is about mortgages. So based on like online calculators and all, just don't assume that whatever you see online, whatever you get online is something you're gonna get in reality, because those are just estimation. Of course there are online process you can apply on it, but unless things move in that direction, you don't know. Because I have seen people getting denied even on the last day of their closing. So be careful about it, very careful. And when you take a house, of like, consider other expenses also that are gonna come in your way. So in my, like, you're gonna take the call, but in my personal opinion, always put a conditional offer, and at least like have finance, one condition. Second is like home inspection. This is what my suggestion to you. Again, as I said, I'm not a realtor. So because what happens, like, you get the true picture, because whatever you see in pictures, or when you go and visit a house, you just see some areas like from your naked eyes. You cannot do the thorough examination. But if you spend like 300 or around that dollars of money to a professional company that does home inspection, you are gonna get a much better report. Because those guys, those who are doing the inspection, they have nothing to do with you or the homeowner or the current homeowner. They are not tied up to anyone. They are just getting paid of doing their job, and their job is to evaluate. Some people say that they knowingly put a few negative points. I am not sure about it, so I cannot say much. But whatever written report they tell you, they share with you, do a detailed examination. If there's anything negative, you can do your analysis that okay, this is like suppose they say that pipe, this water pipe in this area is not good. So you can imagine that okay, if I'm going to replace it or I'm going to service it, how much it's going to cost to me. You need to know these points, because once you get into the house after closing, you're going to be on your own. Similarly, if you are going for condominium or some other things, see what is covered in the agreement, what is not, where you are supposed to pay, where you are not supposed to pay. So these things you should always consider. And many times people like some features like land lease and all, these are really important. Because if you're buying a property where you just own the structure and not the land, and it is on lease, you need to find out like how much lease is pending, and if it is near to the end, it will be hard even to secure a mortgage. And sometimes mortgage financial companies want you to pay more percentage to secure a land lease property. So it's up to you if you want to go for land lease properties, community fees and all. So these are the factors you also need to consider. Again, same thing applies to equipments like hot water heater, for example. Nowadays people have like tankless water hot water solutions as well, but many places you will find hot water tank, for example. So there are two options: rent versus own. So see what is covered in your house selling agreement. If it is like rental, so ask the property lawyer, ask the realtor, like how it's gonna work out. Like, are you gonna inherit and are you gonna continue, or what is the option available for you? Many people own as well, and both have their own pros and cons. So you can do analysis and find out what exactly is gonna help you in that way. That's really important. And again, always remember, too good to be true is gonna be false. So always remember in every aspect what is going through. Then one common thing is like well, not one common thing, I would say, if there are, okay, I will describe it from blank. If there are existing tenants, okay, so changing landlords, just changing the property owners doesn't expire or invalidate their lease. Their lease is still gonna valid. But yes, if you are going to buy a property where tenants are already living over there, you have the right to see the lease, that what are the conditions of their lease, under what conditions something can be done or not, everything. Like, it's your right. You need to understand, you need to know, and then you can take up the call. So like in many cases I have seen, like, if tenants are living with good payment history, and if the purpose is for investment, then people don't mind, because anyway they're gonna search for tenants. So what is wrong? Just let them live if they are living peacefully and without causing any trouble. But again, like everything requires a lot of research, so it's up to you how you're gonna take. But I'm just telling you that just because you see some tenants and you're gonna buy a house, you see, anyway I'm gonna get this empty house. No, of course you can include that as a clause, and if you include this as a clause in your offer, that you want empty possession, and the landlord signs it, then the existing landlord has to give you empty possession. Otherwise, no, that in lease will be transferred, and then you have to follow that. So these factors you need to consider. And a few more things you can consider is like property taxes. Of course, like, taxes have to be paid. Taxes are not gonna spare you whatever you do anywhere in the world, so that you have to pay. And see about water and sewage systems, because that also matters, especially in case of old houses. If you're buying some old property, these things matter a lot, because there are rules like under certain conditions you have to take the examination of water every 3 years, and if it's like old sewage system, probably every year you gotta get it cleaned. So these things you have to check yourself, that what system is currently in place, and based on that you can take the call. So that is how it works, guys. Thanks for watching.